It's got nothing but the hits. It's got the auto sector. It's got the USMCA. It's got the president's whole trade war. It's got Gaza. It's got the 2016 versus 2020 versus 2024 presidential election cycles. And it even has the Republican split where voters come and they register their support for Donald Trump and then they leave the ballot box and leave the Republicans down ballot hanging. We saw it in 2024. This race has everything, whatever you're looking for. So it's going to be fascinating. All eyes are on this right now. I think tariffs are a huge story. I think the auto sector is a huge story. And really, those auto manufacturers have to look at the fact that the president's agenda that they voted for, they went for Trump in 2024 and in 2016, has caused them to be, in Michigan, the state with one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation because of the turmoil it's caused specifically to what Ford built, which is the auto sector. So, how much is it worth to you to get your ideological processes through? Is it worth your job? Apparently, yes. That's what they voted for in 2024, and now they're seeing what's happened.
Henrietta, what do we need to pay attention to here with our folks down in D.C. and Congress? Is there anything that's on the docket for the remainder of the year that we need to focus on?
Well, I'm sorry that you said the remainder of the year, because there's a lot coming in the remainder of the year, maybe not the remainder of this week, but they're teeing up and they're pushing forward a lot of big things that we need to do. We need to get a government funding bill so that we don't go into a shutdown just a couple weeks before the election. I think that they'll handle that. 80% odds or so that we don't shut it down on October 1st. They're also teeing up a reconciliation package. So if Republicans do lose the House and or the Senate, Republicans have a way to insulate the president from the next 2 years of the Democratic Party. So either September will be very busy or the lame duck session of this year will be very busy. Lots of fiscal spend, lots of party hand-wringing, and efforts at bipartisanship that must occur twice, once in September and once in December.
So we're in August already. We're going to blink and November's going to be here. What's the current sense of how some of these midterms may go? I'm not hearing a lot of rhetoric. I'm not sure if that's going to start up in September, but how do you think the midterms are shaking out?
Well, the polling average for Democrats right now is +7 in the Real Clear polling average. Just updated today, there was a poll that came out overnight that has D +11. In that scenario, Democrats are running the table. It's just a question of how many seats they win. Our forecast is that Dems pick up the House between 8 and 16 seats. That's with pretty high confidence, 85, 90% odds. I feel pretty comfortable with that. It's normal for an election cycle. On the Senate side, the map is not in Democrats' favor. It's very much in favor of Republicans. They got to go through states like Ohio and Texas, and obviously this Michigan race that Tom mentioned. And that one's a much heavier lift for the Democratic Party. So I give Republicans 60% chance of hanging on to the state Senate. But this Michigan race is everything for sure.
Unlike the rest of Washington, Martha Gimbel's not taking the month of August off. No. Henrietta, are you taking the month of August off?
I am decidedly not. I would love to. I'm trying not to travel too much. But
I got a brilliant question from Richard. It sounds like he works in the marble halls at Capitol Hill.
Okay.
Richard's in Washington. And folks, this has to do with our new live on air. You can ask questions, and it's, Bloomberg.com/Ask Radio. You got to be a subscriber to Bloomberg.com, or you got to be a terminal user like Michael Barr, and you can ask questions. And Richard sends us a really great question, Henrietta. Do tariffs matter? On the first Wednesday of November, is there going to be a different tariff debate where the Democrats will rescind the tariffs?
Tariffs have mattered since the very day they were put on. The disapproval rating amongst independent voters, which is what is precipitating Donald Trump's hemorrhaging of support that he had just 18 months ago, was started by the tariffs. There's been 3 inflection points. 72% of independent voters disapprove of the president's tariffs. That's water is wet territory. You don't get that kind of consistency around an independent voter. It's alienated everybody who cares about the economy, including Michiganders. So if you travel through what has happened, the chaos that has occurred, the tariffs go on, they go off. You've fractured infrastructure, travel, tourism, all kinds of really basic community pieces that states like Michigan rely on. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
They vacation together. The tariffs have poisoned the well to the point where Canada won't even buy our alcohol. I mean, absolutely they matter. I think it's kind of ridiculous to assume that they don't. They're ever present. The president just increased by 2.5 percentage points on over 40 nations. So, yeah, they absolutely matter.